Self-improvement doesn't ruin anyone's life. The way people approach self-improvement is what's ruining their lives. Blindly following every piece of advice by gurus, influencers, and self-help books is the problem. Especially when you're striving for perfection or using self-help books as a way to procrastinate instead of implementing the tactics and techniques, or being unkind to yourself or others in the process of improvement, or not enjoying what you do have because you're so focused on how to become better.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
So for me, self-improvement has literally been the answer to a lot of my problems. Not all of them, but I'm thriving because every day I work on improving me. So last week I was in Jamaica and I was helping my mom out with, cleaning and decluttering and all that stuff. And I found some of my old photos and I couldn't help but think how much I've grown since then. I mean, from high school to university days to being in my 20s. And I wonder where I'd be and what kind of life I'd be living if I wasn't the type of person who's always looking to improve her circumstances or her way of thinking and just her overall life. So when I watch these YouTube videos where people are saying self-improvement ruined their lives, yeah, I roll my eyes. I mean, how can improving your life ruin your life? So in this video, we're going to talk about popular advice that might be secretly sabotaging your growth. Wagwan friends, if you're new here, I'm Candace, also known as Candy, and on this channel, we're all about finding the courage to create lives we love. It's going to be hard creating a life you love when you're miserable trying to be someone else's version of that girl, or you're trying all the self-improvement advice out there, but they're impossible to follow through with.
Oh my god. This is so hard. Oh my god.
Some popular self-improvement advice can be harmful if taken to extremes. I have come up with 3. And tell me if you agree with all 3, because I think there may be at least one where some people may say, yeah, I don't know about that one. Rethink advice number 1. This is the advice to hustle non-stop and always be on your hustle. And the main reason I think this is harmful is that some people spend years of their lives working towards something that's never going to happen, and in the process they make these huge sacrifices that they regret later. When you're hustling hard every single day, 24/7, and by the time you look up, life has passed you by. You've missed out on experiences with your family and friends because you have this intense dedication to the idea of hustling hard. Plus, the mental exhaustion and burnout is not what success looks like. You have all the gurus and influencers saying that you shouldn't watch Netflix or how you shouldn't go out with your friends for drinks, but instead stay at home, focus on improving yourself and building your online empire. And I agree that you should work hard for what you want, and I agree that you will have to make sacrifices along the way. But I don't agree with the all or nothing approach. If you feel guilty whenever you do meet up with friends, or you go on vacation and you're not enjoying yourself because of feeling guilt about not hustling, then that's a problem. And if you're only sleeping 4 hours a night so you can work on your empire the rest of the time, that's going to cause burnout. I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but lack of sleep ain't one.
It's kind of funny, I'm sorry.
If you're totally unhappy and miserable because all you do is work, that's where you've hit toxic hustle culture. My advice is don't work hard just to say you drove yourself to the point of depression, anxiety, and mental exhaustion, and don't place work over people. If you have a real plan and path you want to try to succeed at, it's fine. But if there is no plan or thought going into the hustle, then it will really be a total waste of time. The key thing is that no matter what, take time for yourself and relax from time to time. Work shorter hours, get rest, focus on your mental health, work on other things you enjoy like hobbies. Run the race at your own pace and just don't feel guilty about it. You'll get there at the perfect time with persistence. Rethink advice number 2, which is achieving goals will make you happy. So many people feel like if they just started making this amount of money, or when I meet the love of my life, I'll start being happy. But happiness isn't something you get when you reach a goal. Happiness is something you experience along the way as you become a new version of yourself. It's taking pleasure in the moments along the way and the joy you experience as you live your life. Because life is happening to us right now. And if you're not able to find something to be grateful for and something that brings you joy right now, getting that $1 million mansion isn't going to solve that. When we focus too much on the destination, we tend to lose the enjoyment on the way to it. And we put way too much emphasis on the goal's ability to cure whatever we're struggling with in our lives. Think of countless celebrities who had big dreams of becoming famous, and then when it happens, they're as miserable as can be. So the question is, what are you doing now to make your life what you want it to be? To feel how you want to feel. I'm learning to deal with the world the way it is and not the way I'd like it to be. Because I mean, what if it never turns out exactly how I want it? Or what if it takes decades to get there? Can you imagine taking 10 years to get that long-term goal and the whole time just striving to get there, never taking the time to appreciate and enjoy where you are? You get momentary satisfaction, and then when you get bored or you get used to your new normal, you're back on the grind again, striving for more. I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. So set all the goals you want, but be aware that it's the process and not the milestone that will bring the contentment and the happiness that you're looking for. Spend quality time with your friends and family, even if it takes away from time you spend on your goal. Go on that trip, even if it dips into your savings a bit. Choose a bubble bath, or go on a nature walk instead of going to the gym today.
Nice.
Take action to solve your problems, but find peace in knowing you get there when you get there. But in the meantime, enjoy the life you have now. And finally, rethink advice number 3, which is to never give up. And this is where I think some people are gonna be like, what? Is she really telling me that never give up is bad advice? Yeah. And the problem is that it makes it seem like quitting is the same as failing. When quitting is seen as failure, there's all this pressure to push forward no matter what. But there is a place for quitting, and it doesn't make you a failure. There's a difference between quitting because something is hard and quitting when something isn't working. There's value in not giving up when the going gets tough, but there's just as much value in evaluating what you might lose by persevering. Like your happiness, your sanity, the relationships you value, or your health. So for example, I've given up a lot of relationships, friendships and otherwise, that just weren't working. And I've given up running because it was way too hard on my body. And I definitely wouldn't call myself a failure because of those things. What I learned is that stopping because one person or a company rejected you will never get you where you want to be in life. Because I mean, obviously there are going to be obstacles in life and you're going to have to learn to navigate them. But I also learned that continuing something that I will never be great at, or that I dislike out of, I don't know, pride, to me, that's not a great idea. So, my advice to you is to be a strategic quitter. There are lots of things in life that you need to push yourself to stick to, and that you're gonna have to have grit to keep going when they get hard. But there are plenty of things that are just not a good investment of your time and energy. Look at quitting as something from the perspective of if what you're striving for is actually worth it. So what will you gain and what will you lose because of it? And if you're leaning towards quitting, then don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as taking a different path forward. So here's the key takeaway. It's okay to evaluate and adjust your approach. Don't be afraid to quit on things that aren't working for you. There's power in taking a different path and pursuing what truly sparks joy and fulfillment. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments what self-improvement advice you found that's been questionable. Okay, so share your experiences and let's keep this conversation going. Until next time.
Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.